Hello and welcome to another day of becoming better and growing intentionally. At the Lamie Ledger, we focus on pillars that guide how we think, how we grow, and how we build meaningful lives. Mindset, growth, wealth, and mastery. Because real transformation does not start with money or opportunity. It starts with how we think. And today's conversation sits right at the center of that idea. We're exploring a powerful concept called cognitive reframing, a simple but life-changing shift from saying I have to saying I get to. It may sound like a small change in language, but the way we speak to ourselves quietly shapes how we experience our lives, our responsibilities, and even our opportunities. So let's take a look at how this simple shift can move us from pressure to privilege, from obligation to gratitude, and from resistance to intentional growth. Let's get right into today's discussion. Have you noticed how heavy the words I have to feel? Think about this morning. What was the first I have to that popped into your head before your feet even hit the floor? Hold on to that feeling for a second. I have to go to work. I have to wake up early. I have to work on myself. Can you feel the weight of those words? It is a sentence but sounds like a chore you didn't sign up for. Today I want to show you how a small mental shift, just 3 different words, I get to, can change your energy, your gratitude, and even your results. This is cognitive reframing, and this is mindset. When you say I have to, your brain hears pressure, force, burden. It triggers stress. Even if the thing is good for you. I have to go to the gym. Now it feels like punishment. I have to build my business. Now it feels exhausting. Your language shapes your emotional state. And your emotional state shapes your action. Small words, big consequences. What if I told you that by changing exactly one word, you could completely rewire how your brain handles stress? You immediately move from obligation to opportunity. Now let's flip it. I get to go to the gym. Suddenly, your body works, your legs move, your lungs breathe. That's not an obligation, that's access. I get to go to work. Somebody somewhere is praying for employment. I get to work on myself. That means you're alive long enough to improve. Same action, different lens, different energy. Let me give you a real example. The alarm rings at 5:30 a.m. Your first thought, I have to wake up now. Heavy. Now try this instead. I get to wake up. That means you were given another day, which means another chance, another opportunity to grow. The day didn't change, the responsibility didn't change, but your posture changes, your energy changes. That's the power of reframing. Your brain doesn't argue with your language, it obeys it. When you repeat I have to, your brain activates stress pathways. When you repeat I get to, you activate gratitude circuits. Gratitude lowers stress hormones, increases resilience, improves focus. This isn't motivational fluff, it's cognitive psychology. You are not changing reality, you are changing your relationship with reality, and that changes everything. This shift matters most in uncomfortable areas. I have to save money becomes I get to build wealth. I have to discipline myself becomes I get to become stronger. I have to go through this season becomes I get to grow through this season. Hard doesn't disappear, but resentment does. And when resentment disappears, progress becomes easier. I urge you today to think of one thing you've been complaining about. Now say it differently. I get to. At the Lamie Ledger, we don't just chase wealth, we build mindset, we pursue growth, we practice discipline, and we move toward mastery. If this shifted your perspective, stay with us by engaging with our content. And remember, you don't have to grow, you get to. Thank you.